Hello. Tonight I'd like to talk about one of the common newbie mistakes, as it were, that I keep seeing coming up from various different sites. People coming in and asking about using something like Seachem Prime here in order to start out a tank or whatever and detoxify things or attempt to remove stuff. Realistically, quite honestly, as mentioned in other videos, that's a bad habit that's picked up from freshwater tanks. I do not recommend using Prime unless you have a situation where you already have life in your tank cycle, and something died, you overfed something, and you're starting to get ammonia and nitrites in your tank. That's where Prime is useful. That's what it should be used for. To help you out in an emergency situation, to help keep your fish and your inverts and corals and general life in your tank alive. One of the misconceptions is that if you look here, it says it detoxifies ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate. Now, it actually does not remove them. It just simply makes it so that they're not as toxic to the life in your tank, so that they can kind of deal with it, as it were, until things settle down and things resume to normal. The only reason I even have bottled this was because last year I had a newbie mistake with my 36 bow front and added some inverts to my tank before it was done cycling. So I used the Prime to help them out. Prime is also not 100% effective. There is a fairly good chance that even if they've been exposed to ammonia, before you detect it or whatever, that you can end up losing some of your life. The good news is that it'll prevent you having a catastrophic failure, like losing everything in your tank. So that, in my opinion, is the purpose of Prime. Now, from a marketing standpoint, Seachem will tell you, oh yeah, put it in while you're cycling. I am not a fan of adding chemicals to your tank other than maybe, some form of like seed bacteria or something like that when you're cycling your tank. Because a lot of times the chemicals have a tendency to actually impede the process, the natural cycling process, and to not let it do its thing, and to do the natural, nitrogen cycle, where it starts out with ammonia, and then it breaks down to nitrites, and then breaks down to nitrates, and then once it completely cycles through all that, then it's done. But when you put chemicals in there that are designed to kind of mess with the chemical composition there, kind of like Prime is, it, in my opinion, actually impedes the process. So I am not a person who believes in recommending something like Prime for a cycling tank. I would say you're better off just letting it do its thing, and then for sure it's cycled. There's no question about it. And then just basically having Prime as kind of a standby, in case, as I said, it looks like you've cycled your tank and then, oops, you made a mistake, or something comes up later on down the line. You've got that there to help you save life in your tank. So, anyways, I just figured I'd put that out there just because I get tired of seeing all these people, who keep struggling with this, and they have a misconception in terms of what Prime is and what it's designed to do. And of course, it doesn't help the fact that there's also, marketing information that says, oh, it's this, great wonder thing that does all these great things, when in fact, it's really not. It is useful for the purpose that I mentioned, but it is not useful, in my opinion, for starting a tank. So. And that's all I have, and thanks for watching.